Alright, let's see if this works. I am so bad at this. I just want to make sure my sound is actually working again. Just want to make sure my... Okay, cool. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. I know it's a lot later than when I usually do the stream, but I am about to hit 35 weeks of being pregnant, so I won't lie. I need more sleep. I sleep earlier, and I sleep in and sleep in later. So today I wanted to do some time walking. This whole week I've been exhausted, so I haven't gotten to do a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. But, you know, when you're growing a human, it can be very exhausting at times. So, let's see. I want to check out and change up some of my stuff. Yes, I have to write this all down. I check it every time because I have pregnancy brain and it's awful. It is very, very true and very, very real. So if someone says otherwise, they're full of crap. We do not go out of our way to try to forget stuff. Okay. Time walking. And let's see if we get some good teams. I also downloaded the add-on that shows what talents and skills I'm using, my spells. But when I first was using it, it was showing like everybody in the groups, like what spells they were using. So I think I finally got it right, where it'll just pop only mine up. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Shouldn't take too long to get into one. So we're into August. It's very hot outside. We were spoiled for far too long about it. I've been hiding inside and thoroughly enjoying my central air. I forgot to get more water. Oh well, we'll get that in a little bit. Okay. I always enjoy time walking because again, I didn't really join WoW until Pandaland. So I don't have like the history and the background of a lot of these dungeons that other people do. And I've always enjoyed going through them. I know some people it's like the bane of existence and they're like, I absolutely hated this dungeon when it was live and I hate it today. But I always enjoy them a little bit. Ah, that didn't work. That's on me. I remember doing this with my one friend, and he was saying how annoying this one is because he's like, there's so many spirals. hated every minute of this dungeon. I always like it because, again, it's almost like something kind of new each time. You know, you get so used to, right now you're doing everything in Korthia. And you're like, I'm so tired of doing Korthia dailies. Okay. I know a lot of people like photosynthesis over germination when they're doing dungeons. I don't know. I've always enjoyed germination better. I just feel like I keep people alive a lot longer. This last week, I actually got a little bit lucky when we were doing raid. I got one piece of gear, which is better than nothing. I can't complain, but it has versatility in it. And I was just staring at it, and I'm like, it's 229. I have no choice. If you hear snoring, that's my pug. I don't know if the microphone will pick him up, but he is very loud. He's an old man pug. He's about 12 and a half, so he sleeps a lot. And like I said, with me helping create Tiny over here, I definitely feel him. I'm like, we take a lot of naps together. So I was gonna go over there, but I was figuring I'm gonna pull this guy over here because I'm very good at pulling everything, even when I don't mean to. Trying to be better about it. I do have a lot of footage of the raids that oh, okay, yeah, we'll get rid of him. I just haven't decided how I'm gonna go about the footage just yet. I keep saying I'll have more time later, but as we get closer and closer to the due date, which is September, um, I'm like getting sleepier and sleepier. So, well, we'll see. Again, I'm just doing this more for fun than trying to make it a full-time thing. So I'm not as, I wouldn't say as dedicated, but in a sense as dedicated as other people that do streaming and videos full-time. I've been kind of just enjoying taking my time, seeing what I like to do, and then if other people enjoy watching it, then that's awesome. If something gets something out of it, then I think I've done very well. Again, part of, the joke of my channel is that I'm just an okay healer, so I'm not on here to show everybody these special tips and tricks and how to be the best healer known to man, because it's definitely not me. I wish I could say that I'm like an awesome healer, top dog, and everyone who watches my videos is like, oh my god, you're amazing. But I I don't know. I just don't get some of the stuff that other people just pick up really easily. Like, hey, if you get 2% of this and And then if you switch this up and you sim this, and this gloves is going to get you this attribute, which will give you like an extra uptick on this, and I feel really bad. Oh man, everybody's leaving now. Because I feel like I just sit there and I'm like, yeah. Like, that sounds great. I have no idea what that means, but is that good? So I wish I understood some of this stuff better. Like simming, I watched a couple of videos because I just could not understand how to do it like correctly. And I kind of stole some of my guild members because some of them, that's the minute they get any type of gear, that's the first thing they do is they sim it. Whereas others are like, no, I can literally just look at it and go, no, that's not better than what I have, or it's not going to be that much helpful that I need to even waste time doing it. Whereas others have, what is it, like the premium, so you could sim as much as you want for as long as you want, and you don't have long wait times. It'll do it like right away. I don't have that. I just have just the regular. I have to look it up, but I swear it's something kind of like it says premium or whatnot. And I was doing all that again to try to be just a better healer in general. Like I feel like I am so much better with dungeons than I am with raid. And I don't know if it's just because our comp is not always a lot of guilds, they will have specific healers that'll work together to go in tandem with their specific DPS and all that, whereas again, we're not an extremely competitive group, which is partly why I thoroughly enjoy being around them, because it's not as intense as I hear from other people, where it's like, you get sick and then all of a sudden you get bumped from the roster and you never get to raid again. Because, how dare you have a life, or how dare you get sick, or anything like that. So it's kind of like they let just about anybody play whatever character they want, which obviously doesn't always help when you're trying to get certain things done, or, same thing. A lot of people will not call out cooldowns. They'll just pop them. And I was doing research about, healing sniping, stuff that I've never even like thought of before. Because again, when I'm in raid or I'm in a dungeon with people, like I'm thinking my whole existence is to keep everybody alive. Yeah. Who's your top priority? It depends who you talk to, because some people say, yourself is top priority, and then after that come the tanks. Others are like, hell no, you will sacrifice yourself for that tank, and that's final. So again, it just comes down to how you play, how your team plays. Are some people selfish? Probably. I have a good friend who's in a more competitive guild and says that I am not selfish enough as a healer. And I'm like, I don't know if I can really change that. To me, I'm like, it's a team thing. It's not because one healer or one DPS is the best of all the best. obviously that one healer or that one DPS could make or break you being able to take down and get that last bit in to take out a boss. But I mean, overall, it's the team. So for me, I'm always going to try to do what's best for the team and not always, oh, well, if I do this, I'm going to screw everybody else over, but my parse will be a 99. So again, it just comes down to priority. And how you take it in the game. I guess I'm a little too passive. But to me, that's the fun part. I've never been a crazy competitive person. And I think it honestly stems from when I played Halo 3. That was like my real, I'd say, entrance into gaming. Um, I mean, before that, I played Warcraft 3. That was like my game, and I was so addicted to it. Like to the point where my parents took away my computer privileges because I would come home from school and I would just play Warcraft 3. And it was a little too much for them. They're like, "No, you don't need to be on the computer that much." And then after that, I started playing, if anybody remembers this game, Neopets. I got like incredibly addicted to that. And they had the like an online arcade and you'd play these games and you get like the currency, which was Neo points, I think it was. And it got to the point where I knew that if you played the games as soon as they did a refresh, you had a higher chance of getting a trophy. And there was like a basically your page, and on your page it would show all your trophies you've ever gotten. So again, I got crazy addicted to it because I wanted like as many trophies as I could. I'm a completionist, I can't help it. And then again, my parents saw that I was on this game way too much. So I got the computer taken away from me a lot when I was younger. And then they got smart. They had me in a lot of clubs and activities, so I didn't even have time. Other than like on the weekends, I could get some stuff done. And I played Neopets for over 10 years. I was so proud of myself. And I had like, I guess they're very expensive now and people pay real money for these pixelated fake pets. Um, and I played it until I think I was just finishing college. And I stopped playing because it got really awful. Um, the amount of ads that were put on the site it was just crazy. And you could pay a premium, again, to not have the ads. But again, I was like, the whole point of, you know, I found Neopets from a friend who was playing with virtual bubble wrap. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And it was on this website called board.com. So I went on it just to kind of check it out. This was like when AOL was first coming out, and all my friends were like in the chat rooms and stuff. I never got into any of that. I didn't understand it. I was like, why do I want to go talk to strangers? It makes no sense to me. And then, my friends were like, well, we can talk to the bots and to each other and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I could just talk to you when I get to school. It took me quite some time. It was the same thing with texting. I didn't really like texting at all when I was younger. I was like, you could just call me on the phone. And my friends ruined my cell phone bill because that was before I got the like unlimited, and then that was before that became a standard thing too. And they jacked up my freaking phone bill because you got charged even if you didn't like text them back. And it was awful. My mom called me. I think it was like $300 because they would not stop talking. So I had to like spruce up my plan just so that I didn't have to pay these crazy prices. But anyway, I was on board.com and I saw this thing called Neopets and I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? So I went on it and it was like um, when it first came out. It was crazy. And I got crazy addicted to it. And there was these stupid things called Negs, Neggs, and they were like Easter eggs. But I forget, is that it? And I just wanted to to have all these negs. Like you could buy them at the hatchery, or you could buy them on the auction house, or you could win them as a prize in games and stuff like that. And I absolutely loved it. And then, like I said, I think I forget what year they sold it, but like Neopets got sold, and then they put just so many ads on it to the point where you couldn't even play games because it would get interrupted with an ad, or the ad would cover the screen and you couldn't see the screen. So I just stopped playing. I still miss it. I think my account um, was disabled a long time ago. I think that's my Chihuahua. Uh, she is literally all bark and no bite. She likes to tell people who she thinks is boss, but the minute there's any type of that she thinks she's in danger, she runs away like the craziest scaredy cat I've ever seen. Did I forget to get the thing? Let me check the queue. I think I forgot to get the, let's go back. I thought I had, there was a thing that said if you do so many time walking dungeons. So yeah, I absolutely love Warcraft 3. That got me into playing StarCraft. Love StarCraft. Same issue. Got addicted to every single one of them. Got kicked off the computer for some time. Had to promise I'd be like better at the amount of gameplay I was doing. Moderation is key. I understand. And then went off to college and I never played Halo 2. I think I only played it like once with friends and I didn't really understand it. I didn't care for it. But when I went to college, there was a couple of friends of mine that absolutely loved it. My one friend was so nice. He let me use his account because his KD spread was already atrocious. And he's like, you could just use mine and practice. And I practiced, like, I'd come back from classes and stuff, and we'd all hang out. We kind of like switched off who room we'd hang out in. So whenever we were in their room, I would practice all the time. And I started enjoying it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I really like this game. And then I started getting really, I'd say pretty freaking decent at it. Do I already have it? A burning path through time. Let's check out. Oh, yeah, I do have it. Okay. I guess I'm just not tracking it. Let me track you. Yeah, I need to remember to do this. One time I did the time walking and I forgot to turn it in. And I had to wait till it came around again to do that. It was crazy. Why did it not pop? Track. There we go. Okay, I'm not crazy. So yeah, I loved Big Team Battle in Halo 3, and then I honestly didn't get it too much of being made fun of for being a female. But there was definitely times where, and this was back before like all the 12-year-olds took over and started screaming and, everyone just started muting right off the bat. This was back when people actually talked to each other. And it was really cool. I got to talk to people who said they were from all over the world. Where or not they were, I don't know. But I like to think they were. And, we started having like a group that we would just get together and we'd play SWAT, big team battle, doubles, you name it. And there was a couple times I got, well, you're just a girl. You're like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Like, well, we're just inherently better than you at video games. I'm like, I don't really care. I just want to do my best in the game, but hey, if it makes you feel good about yourself, you just keep running with that. And it got annoying. Like, people were very pompous about it. So, to kind of show my worth, I started looking into, what makes you like a good gamer, or what was it at the time? I think it was called like uh, MLG. He's so MLG. So I was looking, and people are like, your KD spread needs to be good, and to really show that you're good at this game, they're like, you need to be a level 50 in ranked. So I was like, oh, okay. A friend of mine loved doing doubles, so I did doubles with them, and we got level 50. And then people were like, no, your friend bumped you. You didn't do any of the work. They just like saved your butt. And you're only level 50 because of them. Not because of anything I did. I was like, I kicked butt too. Like, my KD spread was good. I think it was like I forget if it was like a 3.5 or a 4 or something like that. So I thought I was pretty decent. Um, but I was like, okay, if you want to give all the credit to my friend just because they're a male, sure. So I was looking at a couple other things, and they're like, no, to really prove your worth as a gamer for Halo 3, you have to be a level 50 in Lone Wolf. So I was like, okay, let me do that. And I did it twice. I will never do it again, obviously, because, the game isn't what it is anymore. But after the second time, I did the first time because I had an account with an ex of mine, and I did it on their account. And after we broke up, I gave them the account, and I was like, I spent all that time and hard work. I want my own. So I did it again. And it made me so paranoid, like in real life. And it made me rage. Like absolutely rage. If anyone played that game, you understand. Like I'd say when you get up to level 46, the the way they allowed you to rank up was, oh, what the heck? Was such bull. Such bull. Like you'd win 11 games in a row and you wouldn't rank up. 11. I counted. This is why I think I took a couple weeks off after this happened. I was so mad. But you lose one game and you go from 46 to 45. I did not break a controller like other people do, but I won't lie, I was very close to it. And I took a couple weeks off and then I went back into it because I was like, I'm so close. I wanna get this. So I did. So now I'm a level 50 lone wolf. Everyone else can suck it. I was like, I think I've proven my point that I know how to play this stupid game. And then you have those people that got very pissy about the sniper rifle. Because they're like, only I know how to use a sniper rifle, and I am the only good sniper in this game, and you must give this to me. And I won't lie, I enjoyed playing it, but I don't have to be the sniper in every level. But when you would see that in the chat from like the one person that was like that, I won't lie, totally went out of my way to take it from them so that they would rage quit. Like they would bitch about it and then they just quit, and you're like, bye. I didn't even want the stupid thing. I just don't want them to have it because they're being babies about it. And it was like an even worse insult if a female dared to have a better KD spread in the game than them. Oh, shut the state down, man. I take great pleasure in people that are just complete jerks about it. Like, and I'll freaking let you die. I don't care. So, absolutely loved Halo 3. I was really upset when they added the new levels. There was like 2 or 3 new levels they had at some point, and there was specific um, achievements for those levels. But then they took it away, and you couldn't do the level anymore. So if you didn't do it at that time, you would never get those achievements. And I never liked that. I'd say if you're able to do like offline or what was it? You could do like custom games with friends. And I could be wrong. You could have maybe been able to do this, but I could have sworn that once they took those levels off the live, you couldn't get the achievements ever again. And I got lucky. I got mine, but I had a couple friends, they were kind of late to the game and started playing and they could never get them. And then a good friend of mine loved playing SWAT. I hated SWAT. I hated it so bad because there were so many cheaters, for one. And two, kind of like Lone Wolf, it made me incredibly paranoid in real life, where like the minute something would kind of move at the corner of my eye, I'd be like, it was so bad. And I needed a break because I was like, this is getting way too much. So then this other game came out and it was called Mass Effect. And I forget how I got into that. But I'm just gonna say like a friend was talking about it. I was like, oh, let me check it out, because Halo, we did everything we wanted. We were level 50s in SWAT, doubles, and I had my lone wolf. I had all the achievements. Um, so you're just like, okay, what else can I do with my life? So we found this game, and I started playing Mass Effect, and I absolutely loved it. The first one was fantastic, and I won't lie, I had no idea what I was doing. No idea what I was doing. And in the very beginning, when you're on the planet, um, for those that have played the game before, there was kind of like a little, I'm just going to call it like a trailer or connex to the side. And that was like the first mini game I've ever played in a game. And I didn't get it right, and I had no idea what it meant. So I restarted the whole game because I wanted to see what was inside of it. And I looked it up so that I wouldn't mess it up. And that's when I first learned, before you go into like a boss battle or you're about to do something like the mini game, you should save your game and then do it so that if you mess up, you can just go back to it. And that was the beginnings of learning how to be a smarter player, per se. I know some games don't let you do that, or if you're like on the harder difficulty modes, you can't do that. But I was playing the easy mode, okay? This was the first time I was playing a game like Mass Effect. And then again, I just became completely obsessed with it because I wanted all the achievements. And a lot of people will say the best team is Garrus and Rex. And as I'll agree to a point, I won't lie. Tali and I think her name was Liara was an amazing team together. Like, absolutely destroyed people. Now, I had like 2 achievements left, and I was going to have all the achievements. And then I went away to my basic combat training, came back, and my account was gone. And I was looking at it, and I was like, what the heck? And the whole thing said cheater. So I contacted Microsoft about it, and they're like, well, there looked like there was suspicious activity on your account. And I was like, how is that even possible? I wasn't even around for like the last 10 weeks. My basic was 10 weeks, and then my AIT for my specific job in the army was 11 weeks. And I was like a little bit in between them. I came home for a family emergency. And, we had kind of like a day where we could just relax for a minute. And I was like, hey, let me just go on and saw that. And I was like, what are you talking about? I haven't even been on. To this day, they couldn't tell me anything. Anything about anything. They just said there was suspicious activity on it, on a game. Couldn't tell me which game. And they got rid of it. Which left a really crappy taste in my mouth for games because I was like, I spent all that time on these achievements. And honestly, and in between that, I also played Fable 3, I think it was, and absolutely love that game. And I got all the achievements and except for like the gargoyle one, and I was like halfway done and all that went away. So it left such a bad taste in my mouth of playing video games and spending time playing video games that I just didn't. I stopped playing completely. I was like, I'm not playing anymore. I'm not wasting any more time. Yeah, and that's how it was for a good amount of time because I was like, I worked so hard on this and I was so proud of this, and now I have nothing to show for it. Everything is gone. Like I can't even restart because, like I said, for Halo 3, there were some achievements you can't get anymore. And at that time, that was like, people stopped playing, so you couldn't do like the four people ghost achievement. I remember how long that took when I was playing with friends. It took us like 5 hours, and we almost lost friendships over it. Everyone was getting pissed off at each other if anyone died at any one time. So it was crazy. Um, and honestly, I didn't play, and then I went overseas, and a friend of mine was playing Halo 3 still or something like that. Um, and for whatever reason, I was like, fine, I'll play with you. And I was very bitter about it. And just created like a brand new account. And I was like, I don't even care. I'm not even going to play any ranked or anything like that. Why is everybody leaving again? Why did everybody leave? Let's see. We got 2 out of the 3 dudes. Why did I... Rokar. Find group. Rokar. So I started enjoying playing it a little bit more because I was with like some of my friends and we would play other ones like Super Smash Brothers and stuff like that, Mario Party. I started playing like the more, I'd say like more simplistic like party type games where you didn't have to put as much time and effort into it, so you're less salty about it. And then when my husband and I were transferred to a new unit, the group of friends that we found loved playing WoW. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I didn't even know that game was still going because I'm ignorant. And they're like, you should play. I was like, okay, what should I play as? Because, again, I knew very, very little. I knew when it first came out, and I had a couple friends that played vanilla and all that. And I knew honestly almost nothing. Other than like, you had your DPS, your healer, and your tank, your kind of standard fare. And our one friend was a healer, so I was like, okay, we already have our healer. Our other friend was a tank, so I was DPS. And I think I went into this in one of my past lives that they're like, oh, you should do Warlock because it was the more like simpler uh, guys that people found like pretty easy to play if you're first starting out. And I absolutely hated every minute of it. And I think I went into this too. It was probably partly because I was on a very old laptop. I couldn't see a lot of the mechanics that were going on. But I felt like I never had enough anything, and I was always dying. I couldn't do stuff on my own. I always needed somebody there with me. And, our friends weren't always available when I wanted to do stuff. So I hated having to wait for people. I felt like I could never do any quests or stuff without help from somebody, and I got so frustrated with it. And then the issue is some of our friends are like me, where they get really addicted to playing a game, and they'll just play the hell out of it until they get bored and they don't want to play it anymore. But I still want to play, but they don't want to play it. So then again, I would be stuck until they felt like playing again. And it just got so frustrating. So I would I would get kicked out of raids and dungeons because again I would die because I couldn't see the mechanics that were going on. The whole thing was incredibly frustrating. So then I took a long break from that, uh, and I don't know why. I forget why I came back to WoW, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a warlock. And my friends were like, you don't have to be. So that's when I decided a druid would be the thing for me. And a friend of mine was in a guild, and he's like, "Oh, this guild seems really cool. You should join it." And that's where I've been with ever since. And it's been really fun. Um, I guess they don't really know what they want to do. If they want to skip the boss, or if they want to go kill the boss. I guess we're gonna go kill him. And I still have the same issue with my friends today. Like, they'll play for a little bit and then they get bored. Which makes me sad because I won't lie. As much as I live doing stuff with the guild and all that, obviously it's not the same when you're playing with friends. And sometimes it's hard to find people who'll do like Torghast and stuff with you. I don't know what my issue is. Like, I'm on my balance and I get to I can do everything except the very last boss. I cannot beat that stupid last boss unless I have, obviously real specific talents. And I hate it because I did all that hard work and then I can't beat that stupid last boss. Oh, I forgot I don't have you. And then, of course, you have people that kind of have their preferred groups when they're doing certain things. I used to be in a preferred group, and I really miss it, but a lot of them absolutely hated the new expansion, and they refused to play, so I lost all of them. And then I have my friends who, again, at times they don't want to play. So I kind of lost them too. So here I am alone. Woe is me. But again, I feel like I'm pretty decent. One with healing and on my balance that, again, I can get stuff done on my own. And I don't have to worry about people as much as I used to. Which I appreciate, because I feel like it just makes the game that much better when you can do certain things on your own and you're not so dependent on other people. Like for time walking, it's nice to know that I can come in here on my own and for the most part have a pretty decent group to at least get through it. Now when it comes for the mythic pluses and doing keys, again, I felt like I was pretty decent in the last expansion, but I just played way too much and I got really burnt out. And then when I came back for this expansion, I just don't feel like my healing abilities are good enough anymore. Like I was able to do 12 pluses. I think the highest was a 15 and we keyed it no problem. And I felt strong in my ability, but now I feel like I could barely keep people alive on like a 3. So I just been avoiding it. Plus the fact a lot of people don't play until like later on in the night, which is not their fault. We have people that are all over the world, like in the guild and stuff like that. But again, I'm at 35 weeks and I get tired incredibly easy. It's crazy how tired I get. Like I never took naps in my entire life unless I was really sick. And I have to take constant naps now. So by the time a lot of people are online and ready to play, I'm like, I gotta go to bed. So really no one's fault, but it is what it is. So yeah, I absolutely love Fable 3. And I played the game so much that I knew when you got to the spire, like it would show your character throughout the time of you playing. And I would have my character like start off like really they would wear like blues and whites and look really pure and good and stuff, and I would turn my character evil so they look more like a devil. So as it was going through the kind of like montage of your character, like they would slowly get more and more evil. And then, like I said, I was working on the gargoyles because that was like the last achievement I needed. And I absolutely love the gargoyles. Um, what? I honestly didn't play Mass Effect 2 I played like a little bit, and I won't lie, I got really mad at the game because in the first one, you didn't have to worry about ammo, and then they switched it where, you know, you had to worry about ammo, and I was like, this bull. Like, why would you even do that? Like, I enjoyed the, like, you had to be careful not to overheat your weapon. And I was like, I can work with that, but it makes no sense that you had to suddenly deal with it now. I didn't like it, so I just refused to play it. um, and then Mass Effect 3, I honestly didn't even play that either. I watched my husband play it. Because, again, I enjoy watching, I love watching other people play games. So I really only cared about the first one. And of course, I hated the ending. I think that was another reason why I refused to play the third one. Um, when I was still a little burnt out with games and stuff like that. I didn't want to play it. So I was watching him, and then when they did the ending, um, all the endings sucked, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna stick with the first one, and that's what I did. And then he recently bought the remastered version, and I've been so much nostalgia. So I've been enjoying watching him play that. And everybody wants to call me today. Yeah, we'll check it out after this. So yeah, my two like main games that I play these days. Again, if I just want something stupid fun with friends and we're just kind of bored, I absolutely love Fall Guys. And they just came out with the new season, so I've been enjoying the couple of new games that they have up for that. And I finally got my llama suit, so I'm very happy. And then I love Conan Exiles. My husband played that since it like first came out, and I watched him play it a little bit, and then when it went live, because I think he did like the beta or something like that, been playing it since it originally came out, and I actually had my own server for a little bit because I just enjoyed building. Um, well, like kind of forgot about it, so everything died, so I got like a new server and restarted it. And I won't lie, I kind of made it where there was like a whole city for friends, but no one came on. No one wanted to be on my server, so I was like, fine. So I let that die too. um, the new map, the new map was interesting. Um, I didn't like the amount of grinding you had to do to get the surges. And I know they changed a lot up since then. And it was funny, a couple of my friends wanted to be on a PvP server. And I was like, you're not gonna like it. There's way too much griefing and stuff that happens. And we were on it for, I'd say, about a week before things started going really bad. um, and again, they just got camped. So they stopped playing. And I just let our stuff die on that server. I knew it was gonna happen. The minute they say I wanted to go on a PvP server, I'm like, you're not gonna like it. People aren't nice. It gets really bad if there's a very powerful clan on there. They were they were camping a lot of people. I hid out on like my little fish shack. I got really lucky. I went in the fish shack to get food for us and bring it back up. And then they got attacked, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna hide in this fish shack. Like nobody knew I was there, and I stayed there until you can see the chat. People were arguing, and they were off killing other people on the other side of the map. And I was like, okay, it's safe to go back home now. Because again, you have people, a lot of people are working from home now. Um, there's people that aren't working, so they just have all this time where they can stock up on resources and get certain things done, and they can just destroy you. And that's kind of how this clan was. They had like everything, and you just like the OP thing right now is your lance and being on a horse. And they would just run around their horse and just decimate you. Are we on the last guy? Yes. Okay. So they took all the fun out of that. And I felt bad because, they like to PvP, but, people aren't going to play fair. And it was frustrating for them. But in my defense, I did warn them about that. And that's part of why I won't go on a PvP server. Some people like that challenge, and they like, you could go to work and all your hard work is destroyed. But for me personally, I don't like it. I enjoy I'm on a conflict server, so there's specific set hours for PvP if you want to. Um, but there's plenty of times there's not, so it's nice. Your stuff is safe unless you like leave your body out in the open, and then they can just take everything that you have. Which I never understand when people do that. Like you see their body and you're just kind of staring at them and you're like, why didn't you just go home before you logged out? And then you have people that like won't kill you, but they'll like fill your bags up of honey, so you're completely weighted down when you pop back on the server and you're like, why can't I move? You're like, who put all this honey in my pack? It's never happened to me, but I've seen like people argue on the global chat about it. And now I'm kind of at the stage where I did like all the dungeons and I did all the achievements except for I think there's like a couple new ones they added for the new map, the Isle of Septa, that I haven't done. Because again, we were on the Isle of Septa and my friends just stopped playing, and we're on the one like you have to be on there. I think they give you 170 hours or something like that before your stuff will decay. And I already had my OG base from the Exiled Lands map, and other friends of mine didn't want to assist with the upkeep, so I let it die. So I'm no longer on Isle of Septa. I don't really plan on going back to it. Again, it does bother me that I don't have those achievements. So I might go back to it later, but at this point in time, I think I'm just going to leave it alone. And then there's an achievement on Exile Lands where you create the bracelet and then you break through the barrier. And I refuse to do that because I'm like, I spent so much time and hard work on my character. It's stupid. Like, you get the achievement, but then it deletes your character and you're done. And you can go back and create a new character, but, then you got to make sure that your clan mates will let you back in the clan and all. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like all your hard work is, I felt like, for nothing because it gets deleted at the end, and I hate that. So I don't know. Unless like the game is completely dying and they're gonna shut everything down, will be, I think, the only time that I will do that last achievement. Because I have everything needed to make the bracelet. I just have them in basically a cupboard that you can kind of just stare at. So I still love Conan because I love building. Um, I think I'm gonna make a castle. I haven't decided yet. It is kind of sad. My server is definitely dead. Um, every once in a while, some new clans will come on, and there's this one clan. They're kind of like on and off. They'll come on and like rebuild stuff, and then like everybody leaves and everything gets destroyed or whatnot. Um, so it is kind of sad. It used to be very active, and then a lot of people left to go on a PvP server just for the challenge, and then others left because of the new map, and then you know people get tired of it and they just stop playing altogether. So it's been interesting seeing like some of the new people, or when they have the free weekends. I see a lot of new people, and I do have a lot of resources. Again, I've been playing for years, so I'm pretty stockpiled on stuff. And especially when they have the different events, like they had one event where it was like double harvest, and oh, I like went out of my way to grind for stuff just because I like having them in boxes, just for a rainy day. And I've helped out some new people at times. I'm a bit more wary of helping people out because, like, this one group, I gave them like horses and steel and all this good stuff to kind of help them out. And then they walked in an area where they um, shouldn't have because they weren't a high enough level yet to be able to do well. Died and lost everything. And I just sat there and I'm like, I just gave this to you like 10 minutes ago. How did you lose it all? And then they stopped playing for a little bit and didn't come back on to refresh their stuff. So, you know, I call them the cleaners of the server. We have a couple people that run around and they will wipe up and take down any decayed building and just take all your resources. So they got really mad. They're like, all my stuff disappeared. And I was like, well, you got to go to your log and see what happened. And they saw someone like took all their stuff. And I was like, yes, if you don't come on and it decays, like it's people can take your stuff. Like that's how the conflict server is set up to be. And they wanted to argue with me about it, and I was like, there's nothing to argue. Your event log shows you, like it had the names of the people that took their stuff. I was like, it said that your thing decayed. So, it's not that they had like a right, but it's part of gameplay. And if you don't refresh your stuff and it decays, it's free reign for anybody. If they see it, like, they're gonna take it. So then they stop playing. And you just sit there and you're like, you know, looks like this is a little laggy. Oh, my inventory is full. I'll take this. Yeah, I guess I should sell some stuff, shouldn't I? And I still need to look up the shards. I have not added them yet. I need to see like which ones are actually good. I've been very slow on the uptake on some of this stuff. That's on me. My bag. I need to go through my bags and clean that out. Okay, so we did a little bit of time walking. Um, I know people are starting to wake up, and I've gotten too many messages from people, so I need to take a break and see what everybody is up and about for today. Hopefully, you enjoyed some of my healing and stories of gaming. Maybe it brought back some memories of when you played certain video games. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and rest of your week.